Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Mm, yeah. Born and dead, saved by love. Count my blessings from above. Though in darkness, have no fear. Light will shine on those holding near. They know that sorrow they will pass. For I know in this life there will be something. But remember that love, yes it will. Love will reign. Yeah. Love will reign. Yeah. In my heart, I believe it. Love will reign. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Have a vision, it's clear and plain. People living life, smiling again. Oh, see the children, they know no pain. Far from pressure, stress and strain. Oh, sorrow, they will pass. For I know in this life there's gonna be some pain. But remember that love, yes it will. I know. Yeah. Love will reign. Gotta believe it. In my heart, I truly believe. Sun will shine again. And love, I can hardly wait. We'll all be together. There'll be peace, peace, sweet peace, happiness and joy forever. Oh, yeah. One day, someday, pain will be over and love will reign. They won't last, for I know in this life there's gonna be some pain. But in the end, love will reign. Yeah. Love will reign. Said it in His word. We've been made. Endure the night. Love will conquer all. Love will win the fight. So don't be discouraged. Don't be dismayed. Darkest hour is just before the light. Hate will be crushed, fear will be gone, love will remain and go on and on. Though the road seems rough, my friend, we know how the journey ends. Oh, yeah. La, da, da, da. La, da, da. La, da, da, da. Oh, oh.
Love will reign. Isn't that an amazing song? Hello, Mercedes Sanchez over there on YouTube. Key Marie over there on TikTok and others that are joining us. I'm Marcus Holmes, the love activist. I'm advocating for better love for you and me. The love of God, more of that. The love of self, more of that. And the love of others, which most of us focus on, right? So take a moment and click share. Tag 5 of your closest Facebook friends, YouTube subscribers, connections, followers on TikTok or Twitch or Instagram, and those that are following and joining the Love and Stuff community page and all of the groups. Roger Brown, thank you for joining us over there on Instagram. Click share, tag some of our Instagram folks to join in tonight's discussion. And as I'm checking in over platforms, I hope that you are having an amazing day here in Detroit. It feels like it's 169 degrees, but I'm sure it's probably just 96 degrees. But it's been a scorcher, and I hope that all of you are staying hydrated. I got my water here just to make sure. Oh, I don't want to advertise. I don't want to advertise for free. But I got my water here. I want to stay hydrated, and I hope that you are doing the same. So if you see me, um, you know, these lights might bring a little bit more heat, so I may pat in between. But I'm grateful to be here, and I'm grateful that you are here. And I want to jump into the topic, which I'm going to pin, and I hope it pins across most of the platforms. I know there are some platforms that have restrictions on the number of characters. So it is pinned in a couple of places. I see on YouTube, and I'm hoping on Twitch TV as well and Facebook. Fantastic. I see it pinned in a couple of places. I'm going to read the topic and jump right in because tonight, from the inbox, we're talking about as we close out this month of Grateful, uh, though gratefulness never ends, but our Inside Love and Stuff has a specific focus on gratefulness every June. I wanted to bring this topic to the forefront because it kind of closes June for us with a practical lesson on gratefulness. And we're talking from the inbox about a 25-year-old son whose parents have paid for education, apartment, cars, plural, cell phone, memberships, but he's angry because his mother and father are planning to move away from all of that support. They feel that he lacks the gratefulness that he should have. So, when does helping your child become hurting your child? When is it an impediment to gratefulness? This 25-year-old has had education, apartments, cell phone, cars, and backup support covered by his parents. Now he wants grad school paid for too. His mother says she will help, but she's not carrying the whole thing. His father says, let's cut off the extra support and give him 90 days to find work. That's right, find work. Tell him to move home, save his money so he can get on his own 2 feet. And the son kind of crashed out, as the word is. I want to talk to you and ask you, is this tough love? Is it bad parenting? Or is the bill finally coming due? Tonight, we talk about gratefulness with a special hue, a special lens around entitlement, adulthood, family support, and how a father can help and mother can help their son grow up without crushing him. So the father writes to the inbox, dear love and stuff, I need help with my son, and I need to know if I am being too hard or if we waited too long to be hard enough. My son is 25. He is smart, talented, and honestly, he has had more support than I had at his age. Between me and his mother, we have helped him with school and apartment, cars, and a cell phone. He has had 3 cars. One of them he totaled. We still keep trying to make sure he has what he needs. Now he's going to grad school. His mother told him she would help, but she's not paying for all of it. That set him off. He feels like she is turning her back on him. I don't see it that way. I think he has gotten used to help being automatic. His mother gave him 90 days to find a job. I told him I'm cutting off the extra money. I told him he can move back home, stack his money, make a plan, and get himself together. But I am not about to keep funding a grown man who is mad because the help has limits. Here's where I need advice. I do not want to break my son. I want to build him. I want him to be grateful, responsible, and grounded. I want him to understand that support is a blessing, not a bill his parents owe forever. How does a father teach gratefulness to a grown son without turning every conversation into an argument? I did have a chance to talk a little bit in the inbox to this gentleman, and I must be honest with you with what I shared with him. I'm so grateful that he's 25 and he doesn't know my autumn. I'm so grateful because Autumn has been the opposite, and she has really worked hard for everything that she has and gotten it out the mud. And that's what I often tell her. Of course, her dad and I have helped her along the way where we could. We're not rolling in the dough, as it were, but where we could help her, we have supported her to the extent that we could. But I made sure that Autumn understood that hard work coupled with the genius that God has granted her will pay off for her. And I want her to be matched with a man who has a similar rearing or who's come to a similar awareness and awakening. This is not a commentary that all of our young people are like this or all of our young men are like this. And it might be, in part, our generation's challenge that we have overcompensated, that we have overdone gratefulness to lean into entitlement. Not really our intent. We want, as I believe most parents do, for their children to have a better life, to have better opportunities, to live better, to live better, to love better than we did. But we may have given them a bit more of the silver spoon syndrome than maybe is required. Ask yourself, has my young person had to really work hard for anything? Had they really had to roll up their sleeves and work for anything? I can remember times that my parents wanted to have for me a better life than they had, more education than they had, more opportunities than they had, the wherewithal and confidence to go after my dreams, even though I think they had a narration of what those dreams should be. And in some ways may have overcompensated with the intent to push me, to give me the next step. So I certainly, this certainly resonates with me because I would then again turn around and try to do some of that for Autumn. And so we had some discussion around that, and I believe that's an important thing to consider. And I want to just talk about a little bit about, gratefulness because it is the month of grateful. It is a practice. It is the awe-inspiring, in the moment feeling of being grateful. Gratitude is the aspirational state of being. It's a more future state. In the moment, as you build moment to moment and live in moment to moment, you build a path to gratitude through gratefulness. And it's a practice, not a personality trait. Dr. Robert Emmons, who is a leading gratitude and gratefulness researcher, has written extensively on gratefulness and gratitude as deliberate practices. And the Greater Good Science Center, who I give a shout out to, and related positive psychology experts and research often recommend having gratefulness exercises, much like what I recommend in my book, The Gratefulness Journey, every day, including journaling and gratitude statements, affirmations, and letters. So that's the first thing I think we have to make sure. Are we practicing gratefulness in front of our children and involving them in it? It can be as simple as Dr. Emmons says, asking the son or your child or your family member to name what was given without any argument about whether he or she deserved it. What have you received freely without regard to whether you deserved it? Did you receive education freely? The apartment that we paid for freely? Transportation, cell phone, emergency support? Ask the son, in this case, to name what was given without whether or not you deserved it. Because gratefulness, really at its core, is being grateful for what you have without taking an account for how you got it. Now, I will say it is important to understand that the source, the love quintessential, is the source of everything we have. And so when I say that without how you got it, without having to work for getting it, okay? Because there are many things that God gives us daily. The quintessential love gives us daily, including placing us on the wake up list. And you know, you and I don't deserve that, right? But in God's providence, He's called your number to roll your golden moments on, as the older saints would say, right? The second thing in how to apply gratefulness as a practice that you can model out and share with your son, I shared, have him write a one-page receipt of support, not as shame, but as awareness. Okay, apartment, $1,600 a month or $800 a month, whatever it is. Transportation, gas, insurance, cell phone, education, tuition, books, room and board. Not to shame them. Say, see how much I spent? See how much you have been given, as an awareness. Maybe he does or does not know. And 3, require one concrete expression of gratefulness each week. That could be a text, a call, a task, or a written note, thank you. And it could be prompted to start off, nudged. You can even build reminder text in. What are you grateful for this week? Now, the questions I want to ask you as we get ready to go to point 2, can someone be thankful and still disappointed? I want you to answer that in the comments, please. And what did your parents do for you that you did not appreciate until later? One of my favorite questions of the night. What did your parents or parent do for you that you did not appreciate until later? All right, so we got some folks, so sunshine for you. Hello. Mercedes says, I'm grateful that God is with me, and I am grateful as well. Click share and tag some of your followers and subscribers to join us as we continue in this topic across platforms, from Instagram to TikTok to Facebook, from which we emanate. I'm grateful that you are here on YouTube events, on Twitch TV. Why don't you take a moment and click share as we continue in the topic? I want to share a little bit with you about one of our sponsors, one of our partners. This is Christina, the money coach. She is the proprietor and owner, entrepreneur, solopreneur of Powerful Money Tools, LLC.
Welcome to Powerful Money Tools, LLC. At Powerful Money Tools, we are here to prepare for your future. We want to talk about financial freedom. Financial freedom is budgeting, credit building, and also financial education. So once again, welcome to Powerful Money Tools, LLC. We can't wait to help you in your financial future.
That's right. Christina, the money coach, and Powerful Money Tools, LLC have been helping people throughout the Love and Stuff community get their financial freedom, get their future going forward in freedom. And if that's you, and you want to make sure that your financial footing, you don't know how to save, you're having trouble saving, you don't know how to get your finances in order, she will help you do that. She is Powerful Money Tools, LLC, Christina, the money coach, across all platforms. Christina Smith, thank you so much for being a partner in the Love and Stuff community, a member of Inside Love and Stuff, and a fantastic person. Follow her and get your financial journey happening. We're talking from the inbox of a father whose 25-year-old son is having some challenges around gratefulness. And we talked in point number one, how do you help a son who you've given everything to and now you're backing off? How do you help him, or how do you help your daughter understand gratefulness as a practice, understand that they're tremendously blessed? Well, we talked about practicing gratefulness with them, with having them name it, having them write a receipt of support, and requiring them to practice gratefulness each week. Now, the best practice of gratefulness is every day. But if you can get them started at least each week and then begin to build upon that, you'll have something amazing. And I posed some audience questions. Can someone be thankful and still disappointed? What do you say? I want to hear from you in the comments, Andrew and Lady Day, and those that are joining on TikTok, Roger on Instagram, and those of you on YouTube, Mercedes, and those of you that are joined. I want to hear from you. Can someone be thankful and still disappointed? That was the first question. And I think I'll drop that in the comments. Can someone be thankful and still disappointed? Want to hear from you. What do you think? Can someone be thankful but still like, oh no? What do you think? Can someone be thankful and still disappointed? That was one question. Okay. Can someone be thankful and still disappointed? And then the second question, what did your parents do for you that you did not appreciate until later? Now, one of the many things that I appreciate that weren't given, I see on TikTok it kind of blurs in there. I apologize. My parents didn't have a treasure trove of financial things and assets to give to me, but they sure had a treasure trove of faith and stick-to-itness, resilience. And they were proud people. And my dad would always say, you're as smart as anybody in the world. And you can be anything that you want to be if you put your mind to it, if you use your noggin. And he would knock on my head. And he would say, did you put your pants on one leg at a time? I said, yes. He said, so does everybody else. Nobody is better than you. And you are better than nobody. It's not the ordinary gift, but it is one of the gifts that they gave to me that I have always held on to. That just being human levels the playing field for us all. Whether you are more handsome, more smart, more talented than someone else does not make you better. And does not mean that life is going to bring you more. In many instances, you're going to have to work for it. I'm grateful for that gift. And that is one of the gratefulness practices that I incorporate, to remember that I am human, as is the next person, not greater or less, but human. I want to hear from you. What are the gifts, or what did your parents do that you learned to appreciate later? And maybe you didn't understand before, but I've certainly applied that to wherever I work. The person whose job seems less than the person whose job seems more are both human. And they all have in common with me that we put our pants on one leg at a time, right? So I'm going to move to point number 2, and I hope you will continue to drop in the comments your thoughts of what you learned or received from your parents that you didn't really fully receive until later. Number 2, boundaries teach adulthood when comfort has delayed it. This is from Dr. Bowen, who says family systems theory emphasizes that families can unintentionally keep unhealthy patterns going when roles are unclear. When parents overfunction, adult children may underfunction. When parents overfunction, adult children may overfunction. So here's how to apply boundaries that teach adulthood when comfort has delayed it. Number one, put the 90-day deadline in writing. Include job search expectations, home options, what support ends and when, and what support remains and for how long. Number one, put the 90-day deadline in writing. Some will say 60 days, some will say 120 days. You will modify it to work for your situation, but put it in writing and include the job search expectations, home options, what support ends and when, and what support remains and for how long. Okay? Number two, separate money from love. Although I love you and I am available to guide you, I am no longer funding everything. And define that. What is everything? And stick to it. Let discomfort do some teaching. Don't rescue him from every consequence if the consequence is survivable. In other words, figure it out. Now, there are times where you guide your young adult in figuring things out. You know, I've done that with Autumn, and she says, I'm used to you just telling me what to do. Oh, Brenda Bracewell has chimed in. This is one of our love and justice sage minds, and I'm so grateful that she's popped in tonight. Brenda says, live within your means. If you make $1, save a dime. Nobody can take education from you. I love those things from your parent. And you certainly live these out. No wonder. You must have had amazing parents. I think I got to have a show, Brenda, where I have some of the sage people come on and just share some of that knowledge. There seems to be such a I'm going to say wide chasm. There seems to be such a wide place between where we were and where we are. And I think we just have to maybe share to close that divide. So you're giving me inspiration to have you and others on to just talk about the wisdom of our parents and around our community. I think it would be worth sharing. It used to be a long time ago that you could sit around and hear the elders tell stories. And I think that we just have moved away from that. So you brought that to mind, and thank you for sharing. I think it is so important, as I share with Autumn and have tried to. There was a major decision she had to make in undergrad at University of Michigan. And she's, looking at me, we're on FaceTime and she's telling me all about it and I'm looking at her. And she says, well, what do you think? I said, well, it sounds like you formulated some good ideas. Here's what I think. And here's, you could also do this or do this. And she said, Uncle, when do you stop telling me what to do? I said, oh, you haven't noticed. I've stopped quite a while ago. Yeah, but life was simpler. You just told me what to do and I did it, or I act like I didn't want to do it, but I did it anyway. And it worked out. I said, I think I've poured enough into you that you can figure it out. And if you really need my help, I'm right here. So let's go through it again. And as we talked through the points, she came to the conclusion that I wanted that time, but I was fully prepared for her to choose a different direction. Because after all, it is her life and I am here to guide. And I think sometimes it's a delicate balance. Any parents out here understand that. But sometimes we can overfunction and do it all for them, right? Where they have the wherewithal to do some of it. Now, there are times when they don't, right? But if you know that they have the wherewithal to do it, sometimes we can overfunction, which causes in some of them to underperform and to underutilize what we have poured into them and what God has poured into them. So sometimes the lesson is you got to stand back and put your hands beneath your bottom. My dad would say, sit on your hands. Of course, that is, he wouldn't say those words. He might use some expletives, but you got to sit on your hands and let them come to some thinking. Let them come to some thought about how they're going to do it. And then maybe you will give some expert advice. Hey, you could consider this. But sometimes we have to be careful not to overfunction, right? Because they tend to underperform when we do that. So let discomfort do some of that teaching. You don't have to rescue them as soon as they look like they're going to fall and they're so precious. Autumn's just so adorable. That cute face, I can just kiss it. Even she's going to be 28, I can just kiss it. But sometimes I've had to stand back and say, Lord, hold my child, please, Lord, and let her make some bumping of her head, such as she's not going to crash her skull, right? But learning some lessons that she will survive, choosing some of the consequences. I want to ask you now these questions. When does parental help become enabling? And would you let your 25-year-old move home to save money? You know, there are many, many ethnicities and uh, uh, groups of people from various backgrounds who let all the family live there until everybody's on their feet. They pool their money together. They pay off the house and have a certain amount of equity and get a line of credit against that and open a gas station. Oops, I might have said one of the groups. I didn't mean to do it that way. But they may make their resources work. Is that something that you would do if you had a 25-year-old to allow them to move home to save money? I want to hear from you. Drop it in the comments. And while we're doing that, I want to just bring up to you a dynamic partner. If you're looking for flooring, I want to show you really quickly, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit about 36 questions that lead to love. But I want to show you really quickly about Sisson Flooring, hardware floors. This young man does amazing work. And if you're in the market, he travels everywhere. I just had to share a little bit of Sisson hardware flooring. Ernest does amazing work. And if you want to restore your floors, you want hardware installed, this young man has an amazing business and he has done work all across the country. And he's a part of the Love and Stuff community and one of our favorite photographers. And we're grateful to have his presence in our community. And we want to share about small businesses, Black businesses especially, so that others know about the great work in and around their region. Sisson Hardware, you definitely want to check them out. Thanks, Ernest, for being a partner to the Love and Stuff community. We're talking from the inbox about a father whose son he feels is not grateful for all that he has given to him. And I wonder, is it just that he is thankful but disappointed? And sometimes we get disappointed because we set up expectations of others, oftentimes that we have no business setting up, but sometimes we set up expectations of others that they had no intention of matching, right? That's where a lot of the disappointment comes. Now, sometimes disappointment comes because you had an agreement and someone was supposed to meet your expectations and they didn't. But oftentimes we have these unspoken understandings. And when people don't live up to it, we get disappointed. So you can be thankful for what someone has done, but you could feel as if it's not enough. And if you have an expectation of what someone is supposed to do, you're thankful for what they've done, but you're still disappointed, you might want to reflect to determine whether or not you are walking through some entitlement and how you might walk out of that entitlement. We talked about 2 points so far. that we believe the Father can help the Son apply. Number one is that gratefulness is a practice. And you can apply it by having the Son name what was given without any argument about whether or not he deserved it. Have him write a one-page receipt of support, not as shame, but as awareness, and require one concrete expression of gratefulness each week. You can even prompt him with a text, a call, a task, or a written note. Number two, boundaries teach adulthood when comfort has delayed it. And ways you can apply this, according to Dr. Bowen, is you can put the 90-day deadline for him to be cut off in writing, including job search expectations, home options, when support ends, what it looks like, and what support remains, and when that might end. Separate love from money, saying, although I love you and I'm available to guide you, I'm no longer funding everything, and name what you are and no longer funding. Let discomfort do some of the teaching. Let them figure it out, as long as it's not a consequence that is not survivable. Number three, I advise the father that you must move from provider only to coach. Boy, that's a hard move, isn't it? Developmental and parenting device around young adults often distinguishes rescuing from coaching. And there's a practical goal there to help that adult child build competence, not dependence, or move from codependence or total dependence to interdependence to independence. And here's how you apply that. Replace lectures, because you know we're good with that. If I told you once, I told you 1,000 times. I can hear my father in his voice saying that to me. And then a lecture would come about how much taxes he paid for me to get a good education. You can replace that with weekly check-ins. Hey, how's the job search coming? How's your follow-up plan? What do you have planned for this week for job search? Number two, offer structure instead of unlimited support. Maybe you're going to help with budget help, but not resume review, or maybe resume review and not interview practice, or maybe transportation if needed. Maybe a little gas here, but you're not going to, give just blanket amounts. And then pose problem-solving questions. Now let's discuss 3 ways that you can fund grad school with us paying 90%, us paying 60%, us paying 20%, us not paying anything. Okay, I want to hear from you. What should parents still pay after 25, if anything? And what's the difference between helping and carrying? I want to hear from you. I'm going to drop these questions in the comments. What should parents pay for after 25, if anything? Okay, that's the first question. Mercedes says yes. Mercedes, I appreciate you hanging in there with us, and please click share and tag someone to join us. What should parents still pay after 25, if anything? And what's the difference between helping and carrying? Want to hear from you. Dinner when we go out, Sterling says, okay. And good evening, Sterling, over there on TikTok. And thank you for joining us. Tap that screen to get others to join with us. I'd appreciate it. So what should parents still pay for after 25? If anything, you say dinner when we go out, okay? That's fair. Anyone else want to chime in there? Okay, as you're chiming in and hopefully clicking share and tagging some folks to join us, I'm moving to point number 4. And just before I do, I want to tell you about an opportunity to join us in a fun time in 36 questions that lead to love. Here's a little bit more about that.
Can 36 questions make you fall in love? What if I told you 2 young psychologists discovered over 30 years ago that just 36 questions could create real closeness between complete strangers? And that the same questions might lead you to love or help you discover more about yourself than you ever imagined. This isn't a dating gimmick. It's an experiment that's been studied and repeated around the world. People walked in as strangers and walked out feeling deeply connected. Some even got married. But here's the twist. It's not just about romance. These questions open the door to vulnerability, honesty, and self-reflection. They help you see who you are, how you love, and what really matters to you in relationships. So whether you're looking for love or looking to learn more about yourself in the process, click the link, sign up, and let's walk through these 36 questions together. Who knows? Love might just be one question away.
Who knows? Love might just be one question away. We are preparing for 36 questions that lead to love 2.0. We've done 1.0, and many folks within our Love and Stuff community participated. And this was open to people because we did it virtually around the globe. So it'll be open across all platforms. If you're interested in participating in what started as an experiment some 40 years ago between 2 college students who met and fell in love and got married, and then synthesized all the questions that they asked each other and formulated an experiment that went viral. 36 questions that lead to love. These questions open you up, make you more vulnerable to see whether or not there's a potential connection. So if you're looking for the love of others, we invite you to join us in 36 questions that lead to love 2.0. All we'll ask for you to do is be open to participate, to meet someone in a virtual room and go through the 36 questions in their entirety, and to take note to see if any of those things stood out to you. All right. We're going back to the inbox where this father is thinking that his son just doesn't understand how blessed he is. I believe the son understands the blessings, but he might be taking them for granted. And so point number 4 is that gratitude should become reciprocal responsibility. Doctors John and Julie Gottman's relationship work emphasizes appreciation, respect, and positive interaction patterns. In family and familial settings, appreciation should move both ways. But adulthood requires reciprocity. And here's how we advise the father through John and Julie Gottman and their work in the Gottman Institute to apply it. Give the son, if he chooses to move home, a household contribution plan, which could include chores, savings goals, job search hours, and a move-out target. Give the son a household contribution plan in ways that he can contribute to the household. Maybe he doesn't have a job yet, but if he has a savings goal, or he can do all of the chores or some of the chores, he can set for him a move-out target date. Okay? Number 2, you can make support conditional on participation, not attitude perfection. So he can be frustrated, but he still has to act responsibly. So if you call him to the carpet about curfew, he's still got to abide by it, even though he might have an attitude back. I'm grown. When you're in my home, you're growing, right? He still has to act responsibly. Require him to contribute to family time. That could include learning to cook a meal or cooking a meal if he already knows how, helping with errands, pay a bill, or support younger relatives. Listen, I really, really love this one, Dr. John and Julie Gottman. It is one that if I pride myself on trying to do something right, if I got anything right, I often question myself, did I get this right? Was I too tough? I was not reading her Mary, Mary Had a Little Lamb. I was reading her Bible stories. She said, Uncle, you're so saved. I was just wanting the word to be in her, right? I didn't spend a lot of time. Um, we did go play laser tag and play games and do different things, but I spent a lot of time of the things of God, right? Maybe not as much balance, but I think she got balance, right? But one of the things that I'm so glad that I required of her to contribute to family life and pretty early on was I taught Autumn how to cook. And boy, can that little lady cook. And I'm not surprised. I believe it was handed to me. Both my parents were exceptional cooks. And most of my mother's siblings, sisters especially, were exceptional cooks. Many of them, thinking one or two, maybe not, but many of them were. And I think that cooking tradition is handed down. And I taught Autumn just about everything besides lasagna and baking cakes, because I don't bake a lot of cakes anymore. I did that when I was very young, not because those things take a lot more time for me. And she's been on me, teach me how to make lasagna. So, and indeed I will before she gets married, and she'll probably see this and say, "Am I getting married, Uncle? Did I say I was?" Because it teaches her a certain responsibility. And now, almost without fail, even though she'll say, "Oh, please just cook. I love your cooking better than mine. But please, I don't want to cook." But most times, when Autumn comes home, she'll say, "What are we cooking?" Or she'll say, "Oh, we should cook this." Or "I'm going to cook this," or "Let's cook this." Or she'll call me and say, "Uncle, I'm cooking this for my friends. They're all coming over. And what am I going to put in here again?" She contributes to family life. And cooking is such an important part of our family life. And she has contributed every holiday since she was very young. And now Autumn can cook the entire meal, and I can just be in there, the supervisor. I want to ask you, should an adult child living at home pay rent? What contributions show maturity besides money? I want to hear from you in the comments, because gratefulness is not pretending that everything is perfect. Gratefulness is the discipline of recognizing what has been given, what it costs somebody else, and what responsibility it creates for you. Gratefulness names the gift because somebody gave. Oftentimes, somebody sacrificed. Oftentimes, somebody opened a door for you or closed one that you shouldn't have gone through. Be grateful. Somebody absorbed the cost for your pleasure, for your comfort, for your luxury. And when you practice gratefulness, it reduces entitlement, because entitlement says, "You owe me. I didn't ask to come into this world. You brought me here." But gratefulness says, "I've received something of value, and now I must steward it." One of the affirmations I often say is, "I will show gratefulness to God by handling the blessings that I have already received, and He will respond to that as an act of faith, and He will overwhelm me. He will interact, He will intersect my efforts with His blessings, and I shall receive, I shall receive, I shall receive." Gratefulness does not cancel ambition. Wanting grad school is not wrong. Wanting any goal that you can think of, young people, is not wrong. Expecting someone else to carry your whole dream may be the problem, which is why I'm so grateful that Autumn is standing in her great homes in Davis power and authority to carry the dream and ask others to walk with her. Gratefulness becomes visible through behavior. Budgeting is gratefulness. Working is gratefulness. Respecting limits is gratefulness. Saying thank you is gratefulness, but so is changing your behavior. I want you to write down 10 ways in which someone has supported you. I want you to make a list. 10 ways that someone, it could be more than one person, but 10 total ways that someone has supported you. Maybe your mother supported you in a way, your father, your auntie, your big mama, TT. No, 10. And beside each one, write what it cost that person to give it to you. So you're actually making 3 columns. The 10 ways, what it cost, and then the third one, what action you will take to honor the support. I want to hear from you. Drop in the comments some of the things that will be on your list. What are some of those things that will be on your list? All right. While you're thinking of that, again, as we come to the close of the month of Grateful, I can't help but share from MJ from Shies of Sunset a message about the gratefulness journey every day.
Marcus, I want to congratulate you on Love and Stuff. I really want you to know that staying grateful and understanding the power of what it is to be operating out of a space of abundance and gratitude is the most important part of every journey of every day. So Marcus June, congratulations on this book. It's on Amazon now. That makes me so proud of you and your family and me and my family, and every single person around us gets it. So good on you for bringing it into the hands and the laps and the Kindles of all the people. Okay, so we're going to check it out. Can't wait to learn more.
I'm so thankful for MJ from Shies of Sunset for making that cameo for us. And it's true, gratefulness will transform your life. So if you don't have your copy of the Gratefulness Journey every day, I hope that you will go to Amazon and get it now. All right. Before we close, I wanted to invite you to join us inside Love and Stuff, which is a community group that is connected to our Love and Stuff community page on Facebook. Is a group of about 100 plus people who are intentional about their self-care. You know, in the Love and Stuff community, our vision is to up our love game. And we do that by continuously pursuing and evaluating our love for God, understanding his love for us, our love for self, and our love for others. And in that journey, that self-love is often the neglected love. Many people come to an awareness of God and that he is love. A lot of us are on a lifelong journey to understand that love, its impact on our world and our lives, and how to respond in kind to it. Jesus, love's architect, who came through 40 and 2 generations to be love, to be the manifestation of love, said, on these 2 commandments hang all the law and the prophets, that you love the Lord your God with everything you got. I'm paraphrasing. Mind, body, soul, and strength. And your neighbor as yourself. So we really have a component in there that we often overlook. We think about God, loving him, and loving others. But the way in which we love others is informed by how we love ourselves. And how we love ourselves is connected to how we understand the impact of God's love as it manifests in our lives. So there is a neglected love, the self-love. And we've tapped into it inside Love and Stuff. And we're on an intentional journey of self-care. We believe self-care is your love, self-love, and your gratefulness speaking to your worthiness. You will find no one that has excellent self care regimen or routine that does not understand that they are worthy of it. And many times we find worthiness in others' care and not our own. So then we started this self care journey. It's on a 12-month cycle. Each month has a different focus. And June is ending the focus of grateful. July is connecting to nature, getting out. So all next month, Love and Stuff will be on the go. And we want to hear from you about the places that you want to meet us at. Our preference is for open spaces or wonderful restaurants and museums and the like, where everybody can bring their own price tag so we can just be in community with each other. It could be as small and intimate as a poetry reading or as large as an open door concert and many spaces in between. Starting next week, we want you to chime in and come with us live and just drop in and show us where you are. Where will you be around the globe? Will you be outside having ice cream? Will you be bike riding? Will you be at a downtown river walk, which is where we intend to be? Where will you be and what will that be like for you? Now, we will do our best to have sufficient lighting where we are so that you can see us because we're typically around the 8:30 hour, so it's kind of getting dark where we are. But our hopes is that we will encourage you to get out. Now, getting out doesn't mean that you have to spend a ton of money. So we're going to be trying to partner with organizations. If you're an organization that wants us to come to where you are, drop us a note in any of the boxes across the platform. And those of you that are watching and listening, if you know of businesses in the Metro Detroit area, connect us to them. We're starting here, but you can do it wherever you are. And we would love you to come on live and show us what you've come up with in your area. Everyone needs to get connected to nature. Everyone needs to get connected to the wonderful world that God has made. And because we've been in pandemic for so long and we lost some of that time, I don't believe we can make up that time, but we can redeem the time that we have and enjoy the beauty, the splendor of what God has created. I hope to see you. I hope that you will join in across platforms by, again, coming live with me and just sharing your place. Could be you're just outside on the porch. Could be you're going to get your Dunkin' Donuts and coffee. Whatever it is, go outside. Connect with the world outside. Breathe in some of that air and enjoy life. It is fleeting. And a part of the self care is to savor every moment. I'm Marcus Holmes. I'm so grateful that you joined tonight. I hope that whether you're watching us from where we emanate on the Love and Stuff community page, the Markets Our Homes page, any of the love groups that we've connected with, on Instagram, on YouTube events, on Twitch TV, on TikTok, we're grateful that you've come tonight. And I hope you will click share, tag some people to join us in conversation because we all want to improve our love game one step at a time. Don't forget to drop in the inbox the businesses in your area. And as we close, tonight's inbox is not just about that one son. It's really about all of us learning differences between being supported and becoming dependent, between being loved and being carried, between receiving a blessing and treating it like it's someone else's bill owed to us. If you are a parent, do not just cut off support in anger. Create structure, create clarity, create a path. If you are an adult child, do not confuse a boundary with abandonment. Sometimes the people who love you most will stop paying for the pattern that is keeping you immature. And for all of us, gratefulness is not just about what we say. Gratefulness is what we do in response to how we feel and what we recognize that have truly been gifts to us. As I go, I want to say one of the greatest gifts given to me came born out of my sister, Adrian. Her daughter, Autumn, is a great gift to me. And while I would never sacrifice my sister to have Autumn, as I shared with Autumn, this journey that I've been, extraordinary journey that I've watched her blossom into an awesome young person, I do all over again. I am grateful for everything that I've been blessed to see and do, and wish and hope still to be able to see and do more. And I'm grateful that she is standing up as the kind of young person who represents that journey, who's willing to work hard for what she gets, who has worked hard for where she is, and who understands that God is the reason that she has made it thus far. I wish that journey for every parent. I wish that journey for every guardian. I hope that your children, if they haven't already, awaken and are aware of the blessing that it is to have people in league, in your corner, on your path with you. But just in case they don't, be grateful that there is an opportunity for them to learn. I'm Marcus Holmes. This has been a wonderful edition of Love and Stuff. And if you enjoyed it, I want you to click share. I want you to give us feedback to tell us what you'd like to see in Love and Stuff and help us to continue to move it forward. Thank you for being here, and we will see you next week.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Born and dead, saved by love, count my blessings.